Welcome to this video tutorial from Business Gateway. In this session, we'll look at what's involved in planning your first business website. We'll be focusing on the factors to consider when going through this process, looking at things like your target market, whether to build it yourself or hire a web design company, and other technical considerations like choosing the right content management system and securing your domain name. If you're new to all of this, then before we get going, just a little reminder that Business Gateway can support you on this journey. This video tutorial aims to give you a good understanding of the basics to consider. But if you need more help, then get in touch with your local Business Gateway office direct and they'll be able to help you get started. So let's start with the first big question. What is your new website actually for? To simplify things, there are effectively three specific types of website. First, there's your informational website. This is the equivalent of an online digital brochure, or even simply a digital business card. This type of site exists to give customers information, such as highlighting your contact details, explaining what you do, and describing the products that you sell. Often, the primary objective of this type of site is to simply get people to find you and then to contact you. It doesn't need any clever functionality. It's there to give information. Then there's the e-commerce site. Simple to explain, it exists so your customers can find you and buy from you. They can browse your product range, add things to an online shopping basket, and check out there and then with a credit or debit card. And finally, there's the interactive website, designed with specific functionality that allows customers to actively engage with the site. Now, this could be as simple as filling out a form to receive an instant quote, or something more advanced, like using a kitchen designer tool to create a customized layout. Another example might be a booking system for scheduling appointments or reservations directly through the site. These features provide an added layer of user interaction, helping to streamline services and enhance the overall customer experience. Before building anything, you need to work out your own website's goals and objectives. What do you need it to do? Remember that you can always change and improve it in the future. A website isn't like a printed document. It can evolve at any time. You could start with a simple brochure type site to get going, and then later on add e-commerce or additional functionality. Knowing what type of website you need and the functionality you require at the start will steer many of your decisions going forward. So on to our second big question. Who is your website for? Now, this is all about understanding your target customer and reminding yourself that your website is not actually for you. So think like a customer and put yourself in their shoes. What content would help them? What website features would they actually use? And what overall design might most appeal to them? Many businesses create customer avatars or personas where they aim to truly understand their ideal customer, helping them make better business decisions around things like customer demographics, status, location, preferences, and more. Well, let's now move on to the question of whether to try and build your own website or to have it built for you by professional web designers. You'll not be surprised to hear that the main consideration here is money. What can you afford? Building a website yourself, DIY style, will certainly be significantly cheaper than paying others to do it for you. But before we look at typical costs, let's remember that your time is money too. If you're not familiar with building websites, then of course there's a learning curve, made even longer if your computer skills are limited or you're not confident with writing content or creating graphics. Websites no longer have to be built using hand-coded HTML programming, and it is now possible to build a site without using an expert. But be aware, while doing it yourself will be cheaper, you'll still need to consider many other factors before deciding on the best route for you. If you decide to pay someone else to build your website, you probably want to know how much it's likely going to cost you. That's a difficult question to answer accurately because it depends on who you're working with and what their business model is. A small one-person, new start web designer working from home is likely to charge significantly less than a 50-person web design agency. It's not always true that more expensive means better, so shop around, do your research, ask other small businesses, or speak to your local Business Gateway team for recommendations. As a ballpark, expect upwards of £500 for a small, simple, information-type site with a few pages, and for e-commerce or anything requiring bespoke functionality, it'll likely be a few £1,000s and upwards. If you're working with a web design professional, they will likely already have a preferred platform or content management system to build your website on. If you're building it yourself, you'll need to make that choice. There are lots of self-build tools out there, all capable of producing great first business websites. Popular platforms like WordPress and Wix are commonly used by small businesses when starting up, or you'll maybe consider Shopify if you're focusing on an e-commerce solution. Again, make sure you ask around and see what platforms other businesses are using. And be aware that most of these platforms offer free trial periods where you can demo their systems for a limited period, hopefully seeing if it's a good fit for you and your requirements. Well, lastly, a reminder that unless your web designer is helping you do it, don't forget that you'll need to buy a domain name for this new business website. Ideally, you'll want to secure a domain name closely related to your business name. So here at Business Gateway, our main domain name is bgateway.com. But be aware that domains are sold on a first-come, first-served basis, so your ideal name may already have been taken. We recommend you secure at least the .com and the .co.uk versions of your domain, helping secure your brand and ensuring no one else can register these. You might want to consider others as well. There are now lots of generic domain types like .hotel or .training, which perhaps will suit your type of business. Costs vary, but domains are usually anywhere between £10 and £50 per year, and you'll need to keep renewing it with the company you bought it through. Well, hopefully this short video has given you a few important things to consider when planning a new business website. But there's lots more you should still think about, including website content, design and layout, branding, and search engine optimization. We cover all of these and more on the Business Gateway National Webinar. Visit the website for details of all our webinars, in-person events, and tutorials. They're all designed to support you and your team, whatever stage your business is at.